Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Trying to get us back on task here, on track, time-wise, for the most part. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about finding your own wholesale accounts. So as you know, we have our own retail store. If you're a member of that part of the membership, you have access to over 240 vendors that you can order from. But there are some people that want to go out and get their own wholesale accounts. Because with the retail store, we open up these accounts in our name. So if you're not part of the program anymore, you won't have access to those accounts. So there are people that want to go out there and open up their own accounts, and I'm going to give you some tips and some pointers on how to go about doing that. I touched base on a little bit of this yesterday when I talked about the software that we recommend. So I'm just going to hop right in. So a couple of things to keep in mind is that you want to open up wholesale accounts with authorized vendors. So you got to make sure that they are actual vendors that the brand has approved to sell their product. I'm going to get into it again. Okay, it's all right. So how we open up these wholesale accounts is we go directly to the website. And down at the bottom, so down at the bottom, it should say something about wholesale. So it says it right up here, actually. So if you go on these websites, either at the top or the bottom, it'll have something about becoming an affiliate or an ambassador or join their program. That's where you would go to start that process. And most websites have it on there. Now, you can go to this, and they might give you a list of vendors that they do business with. So that's how you know who's affiliated with them, because the vendor will give you that list directly. Like Funko, they have a vendor list that they gave us of other companies that are allowed to sell their products. I wouldn't recommend going to Joe Blow and he's like, oh, I got these Funko Pops, you want to buy some from me? I would definitely recommend reaching out and double checking that that person is an authorized distributor, because you can put your account in jeopardy by selling those products if they're not actually from the vendor. So that's kind of the first step. You can sign up for trade shows. If you're interested in a list of different ones that you can sign up for, I can give you that, where you'll just get information on different companies. So if you want to sign up for those, you can get some ideas of different companies to open up with. Now, there are some people that also go to trade shows. I'm not going to talk about that a whole lot today. If that's something that you're interested in hearing more about, I can talk about that next month. Just fill that out on the survey. But these are just a couple of places to get ideas about where to find information to open up these accounts. But before you do that, you want to make sure that you have your ducks in a row. So in order to open up a wholesale account, there is a barrier for entry, meaning that a lot of them require you to have a brick and mortar store. And that just means a physical location. Now, we have a physical location. Our store is up the street somewhere in Oakhurst, like 5 minutes away. It's called Jim's FHQ, which is Jim's Fashion Headquarters. Does anyone know why it's called Jim's? His kids' names. So there's Jamie, Elliot, Marilyn, and Shelly. So that's why it's called Jim's. They're Sam's kids' names. So the store is right up the street. So if we have to open up with the brick and mortar location, they're going to ask to either come see the store, so you can't fake it like you have one. Ask for pictures of your storefront, so the outside of the store and then inside of the store. So that's one of the barriers for entry. So if you don't have that, some of them may not want you to sell their products on Amazon. So you need to come up with another way to tell them that you're selling their products. So in order to do that, people will get a Shopify website, which you can make look like a regular shopping website, there's a shopping cart functionality. People can add things to that cart and check out. Like I talked yesterday, it does connect to your Amazon store, so you can select what you want to show on that Shopify website. So if you sell a little bit of everything in your Amazon account, but you only want clothes and shoes to be available on your Shopify store, you can make it so that that's the case. You don't have to show everything that's in your Amazon account. No, you add it to it's all in-house. So there are two, I almost said Chrome extensions, two plugins that you enable on Shopify that will pull from your Amazon inventory, but it does not redirect them to Amazon. It all takes place right in Shopify. I'm trying to tell you this. If only you would listen about tactical arbitrage, you could get somewhere. So, so you want to make sure that you have your Shopify set up. It looks professional, so you have about our company, what our mission is, what our goals are, that it looks sleek and sophisticated, that is tailored to the companies that you want to open up. Now, this is important. If you are opening with a company that does not want you to be on Amazon, and I suggest doing this just in general, you want to make sure that your Shopify name is different from your Amazon store name so that they cannot look you up. Yeah, some of them are okay with you selling on an online store. They just don't want you to sell on Amazon. So what you want to make sure. Yep. Yeah, so like we talked in your Shopify and your Amazon store name are the same, right? So if they go to Amazon, they can search for your Shopify and it's the same name. So they'll be able to say, oh, well, she's not just selling my products on Shopify, she's going to sell them on Amazon too, which is what I don't want. So you want to make sure that those two names are different. So your Shopify website name is different and your Amazon business name is different. Yeah. No, you just change your store name. Just make up a name. No, it won't matter. Nope. So what you might need to do when you open up these accounts, and there is a template. So what you're going to do, if you go into the matrix and you go to member files, there is a first contact letter, and this is what you're going to submit to the vendor in order to open up the brand. So it's going to be a little bit about yourself and what you do. You're one of the buyers representing your company name. We're interested in setting up a wholesale account with your company. Your company name was established in blank and the state that it's incorporated in. We're a well-established, multifaceted company with retail stores, wholesale distribution, and online divisions. Now, this is a template. So if you don't have this stuff, take it out of the template. Like I send people templates to use for performance notifications, and they're like, well, I don't sell that many products on Amazon. Take that part out. Focus on the good things that have to do with your account. So this is just a template for you to tweak and make your own. But the goal of this is to tell them about your company. Let them know your story, why you're special, the clientele that you service. If you have other accounts open, talk about those accounts that you have open. If you're opening up an account with the shoe company, maybe look into who their competition is and say, oh, we carry this brand, and this brand. So they're like, I want to be in there too. So you have to kind of play this up. When we're opening up wholesale accounts for certain companies, we don't mention that we have wholesale accounts open with this, and this if we're not in that same category. So if I'm trying to open up an account for Jessica Simpson shoes, I'm not going to tell them, oh, we have an account open for Powerhouse Toys, because they don't care about that. That's not their competition. I'm going to say we have accounts open with Javianas and Katy Perry and Teva and things like that. So then they have an interest in our store. So you kind of want to tailor this and tweak this. Now, another thing that they're going to ask you about is if you'll observe MAP, which is minimum advertised pricing, which is a price range that you have to keep within. So say I sold this bottle of Poland Springs water. And they told me the MAP policy would be I can't sell it for cheaper than $8. I can't sell it for more than $15. So I have to keep it within that 8 to 15 bracket when I go to price it. So if I'm going to put it on my Shopify website, I just have to make sure that I'm within that MAP policy. Now, if you're selling it on Amazon, you can jack that price up. But you're just going to be aware of that. They might ask you if you want terms or if you're going to use a credit card on file. So some companies, they have net 30 days, net 60 days, net whatever it is, which that means that after you receive the goods or after they send you the goods, you have 30 days to make payment on them. Or some of them might say they need to be paid for right away before we release the goods. So this letter is what you're going to submit to them when you go on the website and you're asking to open up a wholesale account with them. So that's how you would go about doing that. Now, I recommend keeping a master list of all of the companies that you open with, and on that list, I would have the brand name, your contacts information, your contact's email, phone number. I know some of you are writing, so I'm trying to give you time to write this down. Their preferred method to be contacted, because some of them only want to be contacted by either or, so you may want to make sure you have that. Then any other information, some of the websites, they have a B2B, so a business-to-business website. Some of them you can just email them your order. Some of them you have to go online and place the order. So you want the link to that website and then your username and your password. And then the other stuff that you want to have is stuff that's actually on our wholesale list. So do they have a MAP policy? Do they, yep, minimum order amount. Will they give you UPCs? When their catalog releases, like how often? Is it quarterly? Is it monthly? Is it as needed? So you can keep track of that and know when you need to request a new catalog, because they don't always automatically send you out one. So everything else that's pretty much on that wholesale list that we send out to you guys, you want to make sure that you ask for all of that information, and just keeping that master list. And I'm going to give you just a quick glance at ours. By title, or you have a VA, go on to Amazon, find out the UPC by going to add a product and making you a list that way. Scoutify? Profit Bandit? Oh, Scan Power Evaluate? Yeah, so you can, but it gets suspicious because the name might be different than it is with Amazon and what the vendor actually has it named as. So with the title, it's going to be suspicious, Adele. Yes. Mm-hmm. We don't offer up that we sell on Amazon unless they specifically ask, do you sell on Amazon? So I think that's where you were going with your question. Yeah. 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 We don't volunteer it. So unless we start off with that, we have a brick and mortar store, we have an online store where we sell products, and if they straight out ask us, do we sell on Amazon, then we're honest and we say yes. But if they don't ask us, we don't tell them. Some of them don't want you to sell their products on Amazon. Some of them actually have an online policy, period, or they don't even want you to sell on the Shopify website. Mm-hmm. So you have to watch out for that. We have a couple open, and they have an online policy. Mhm. 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 Yep. And there are some companies that are new and they're trying to get out there and they know the power of Amazon. They know what you can do on Amazon. So there are two sides to that coin. We had a lady come in several months back. She was selling bras and they were kind of new into the market and they wanted to get their name out there. And she had actually made her own Amazon listings and they were not at all quality or anything like that. And she wanted us to sell them for her and improve on the listing because she knew that we had the power to get her brand out there. She knows that Amazon is a huge market. So there are two sides to that coin. It is hard to do that because you have to, like, you can, but there's a lot of moving parts to that. Like we have some companies that we put their products on there for them, but like you can't brand register or anything like that because you don't own the rights to her company, but you can list them for her and say, if I do this, I get certain profit or a kickback or something like that. So it's a couple of different ways to work that one out. It all depends. So the document that we use, this is it right here. It is a massive list. It is color coded because I like to keep things in order. It has a key at the bottom, but here is the B2B login information, the preferred contact method, the category that it's in, case pack, map, lead time, shipping costs, minimum order quantity, and the new catalog releases. So this is the document that we use in-house. The key is all the way at the bottom so that we can keep track of everything. And it's somewhere down there. I can put I can put it on there. Yeah, just send me an email to remind me to do it, and I'll do it. Wholesale vendor template. There we go. Just the things that I talked about. So you need a Shopify account to show them that you have some place to sell their products. So if they don't know you sell on Amazon and they send you that message, I would not bring attention to the fact that you are authorized and that they gave you authorization to sell it, because that's going to be worth more problems. So I would treat it like a normal buyer message from the performance notifications that I just talked about. So mark it as no response needed. Because if they don't know you sell on Amazon and they're sending you a buyer message saying that you're not authorized to sell these products, you don't want to bring to their attention, oh yes, you gave me authorization to sell your products, even though you told me not to sell them on Amazon. I'm selling them on Amazon, but you said that I could sell the product. So that's more trouble than what it's worth. So just treat it like a normal buyer message. No, we have people that join ACE and they're just starting selling and they do wholesale. Now you might be restricted on the brand, but you can definitely buy wholesale and send that into Amazon. No, but it sounds kind of like maybe Restock Pro, or there's a couple other ones out there that will give you suggestions on what you should order more of based on how it's sold on Amazon. Yeah, forecasting. We have discounts with Restock Pro. I think we do. And I know we definitely have one with Forecastly. There's a couple of them out there that'll do that.
Well, my suggestion before you purchase any of those, look into inventory labs.
Yeah, Velocity. Yeah.
They will do a lot of this. It's obviously nowhere near as robust a solution as a Forecastly or a Restock Pro, but if you already have an inventory lab, it'll give you most of the basic info you need as far as, okay, I have 4 left in stock. That usually sells in a week. I need to get product in, on by this date. It's a place to get started without paying.
Yeah.
Restock Pro and Forecast are not cheap.
No.
Like like right now, I only have 4 wholesale accounts. I'm not spending 100 plus a month. So figure out how to restock 4 wholesale accounts. If I have 40, why am I screening?
I don't know.
Right now, it's just not.
Yeah.
It's extra money I don't have to spend.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's included. It's new. Yeah. Yeah. Just play around. No, that's something else. That's for keeping track of your inventory and your reports. That's what Inventory Lab is for. So I'll talk to you about that because I think there's like a little bit of confusion. No problem. Are there any other questions about wholesale and opening up wholesale accounts? No, it depends. So sometimes when you open up the account, they will require you to make a purchase of a certain amount just in order to open that account. And then they're going to tell you on a vendor by vendor basis. That's what that minimum order quantity is, or the maximum order quantity, which is on the wholesale list that we have. So they might tell you in order to place an order, you have to buy at least $250 worth of product. Or you might have to buy a certain number of pieces or something along those lines. But it's not a ridiculous amount. Yeah, but I mean, this is the good thing about the networking lunch, because you have people that you talk with and that you hang out with. Be like, I have these wholesale accounts. I want to place an order. Do you want to get in on this to meet that minimum? And then the two of you go in, and then you can meet that minimum and send off that order. So that's why, huh? If you want to make them a receipt from your company, you can do that. Like we send you guys a receipt for gyms. Huh? Yeah, you're an authorized distributor. See, make your own receipt. Saying? Yes, Wendy. Oh, so we've gone to trade shows. We've done some research on a couple of brands. We had Maria. She was working with us. She had been in retail for a while, so she was familiar with a lot of these companies. So we just did research with Jungle Scout to see how they performed on Amazon. But like, there's no easy way going to trade shows or signing up to go to trade shows just so you can get their list of vendors, then doing research with Jungle Scout on that list, and then saying, oh, these are good vendors, let me write this down. And we actually have our VAs send out this letter to those companies, and then we kind of take it from the point where we need to submit other documentation if necessary. If they are authorized, it's fine. So it's not a problem. A lot of the toy companies that we have, they are distributors, but they are authorized from Funko and all of that stuff. So
and some of the wholesale people out there prefer you deal directly with the manufacturer, but I've got one distributor here that she runs, she authorized her at 5 different brands that all sell very well.
Yeah.
So it makes it much easier for me.
Exactly.
The only downside is if she ever loses one of those accounts, I have no.
Yeah, and with the company.
With her, not directly with the company.
Yeah. So if that ever happens, then just reach out to the company and try to open it, or say, do you have a list of distributors? It happens, but we have a couple of accounts that are with authorized distributors on there.